excited to be back. It's pretty neat to be here. We're going to talk about just a few different things, give you a general overview of our philosophy of fear, I guess kind of the science behind how to scare people. Talk about a little of that stuff, and then we're going to do some hands-on. The school that we teach, we break it down into the laws of fear. We've got 5 of them. Mind games, we have 3 of them, and brain seeds. Those are the 3 general ideas. What we've got on the laws of fear, we're going to go through and tell you just an overview of the 5 and an overview of the 3 mind games, but then we're going to concentrate only on those things that are pertaining to actors. A quick overview of the laws of fear. We developed these after about, let's see, we started in 1982 and it was about 1998 before we started realizing we had some science behind what we were doing. The 5 laws of fear that we discuss, and we're going to go into more. First is remove the comfort zone. We've brought with us super scary, the scariest props that we could muster together. The glitter hula hoop of death. Terrifying. That one's going to be tied to remove the comfort zone. We have the jack. Right there. Second one. Yeah. Second one is prey on multiple senses. We didn't bring a super scary prop for that one. Okay? You can imagine. Because it doesn't apply in this case. Third one is escalate the tension. The super scary jack-o'-lantern of mayhem, or Jack in the Box. Okay, so that one's remove the comfort zone.
I didn't even
escalate the tension. It kind of broke it. I had to apologize. Fourth one is distinguishing between gory, cool, and scary. Okay, and then the last one is creating synergy between those effects. Just so I'm not using jargon that doesn't make any sense. Who can tell me synergy? What does it mean?
Just kind of make sure everything's flowing together.
Okay, working together. What else? 2 plus 1, what was that? 1 plus 1 equals 3, or 5, or 10. Sometimes 1 plus 1 can equal 1,000. Okay, that's synergy. And that's one we're going to spend probably the most amount of time on. Okay, so remove the comfort zone, prey on multiple senses, escalate the tension, distinguish between gory and scary, and yeah, I know, create synergy between the effects. I don't have my notes. There's not a test or anything, so don't worry too much about it. And then beyond the 5 laws of fear, which we just went over, we also have what we call our mind games, which are symbols for that are music, magic, and warfare. Now
psychological warfare.
Psychological warfare. Good, perfect. Now we could have done music, magic, and mayhem. Kind of flows a little bit better, but we don't actually want mayhem. We want warfare. Structured. Mayhem is just chaotic. Have you all heard of the book by Sun Tzu called The Art of War?
Heard of.
Heard of? Well, you don't have to know much about it except for that we figured out how to use the principles. This is over 1,200 years of warfare, and we've kind of boiled it down to some ways that you guys can wage war on your victims as they're coming through. And Adam's got a quote concerning some of the structure that we're actually looking for you guys to help create. Lou Hunter was his name. He teaches screenwriting at UCLA, and he teaches this 434 class. And he has a quote where he talks about structure. In screenwriting, in drama, you have to have structure. Because he says in life, things happen one after another, but structure is when things happen because of the other. Now that's what we want. We want to set up the scare that we can duplicate, basically. We want to set things up and control it, structure. And so as Adam's talking about these things, structure is making sure that we scare every single one of them and have an idea on how to do that. Good night, everybody. That was the lesson. Thank you. We're fair game. Anytime it's all fair. It's fair game. All right, I need a volunteer. In the pink. What was your name?
Gelfling.
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 Just don't worry about it.
I'm with you. It's all right. All right, I want you to put on the hula hoops. All right. What you're seeing here is this is Gelfling's comfort zone. All right. No. Well, actually, if you really were to create it correctly, most people, I want you to imagine this circle going around, and then there's another circle that's about here, and then there's another circle out about here, about 12 feet out. Okay, so out at 12 feet
is your public distance. That's where you kind of acknowledge that somebody else has crossed into that path. About 8 feet?
8 feet or so.
About 8 feet out. About 4 feet in. What starts happening?
You're
Okay.
like you're close.
Yeah. How do you feel right now when I'm
I feel
looking?
like you're gonna approach me.
Okay. I'm actually within her personal space. Okay? This. Ready? About 18 inches.
I feel like you're gonna kiss me.
And it's called your intimate distance. Okay? Now in public, okay, that's why we use the hula hoop to describe that. Thank you. You're a perfect model. Give her a hand. Okay, so as everybody walks through, you're going to imagine them walking through with something like this. If you're not getting within that space, you probably haven't broken their personal distance. I want you to stand behind this as I'm walking through. I want you to imagine this is one of those cages where there's like bars. If you're behind something with bars, I can get up right in a little bit closer and it doesn't make me feel as uncomfortable. Why? So barriers, they're not really good. You've got to figure out something to do to get rid of barriers. Removing comfort zones are distance, how far away you are, direction, what direction you are, and barriers. What barriers are in the way? What are some other barriers? Thank you. What's one of the biggest barriers that everybody coming through is going to bring with them?
Boyfriend.
Boyfriend. That's exactly right. Boyfriend
Or the girlfriend is one of the big ones. How do we remove it? Scare them away from each other.
Okay, scare them away from each other. How do you do that?
They're walking in like this.
behind the girl. Instead of going straight to the guy, walking inside and go straight to the girl.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
you could just scare them and they'll run off 12 feet away from the guy and be like, where'd you go?
Okay, I just heard a couple things. One was come around behind them. Okay, come on up. Come on up. Okay, you're both the actors. You're both the actors, and this is my boyfriend. Okay.
Not for long.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, what do I have to do in order to get over there?
You've got to walk in between us.
Okay. So what does that do as far as my comfort zone?
It puts you're boxed in at least 3 ways out of 4.
Good. If I wanted to avoid you, I have to do this, right? But what have I done? I've exposed myself. That's right. Okay. So yeah, I was a little uncomfortable with that analogy. We'll move on. We're going to be talking a lot more about that, especially when we're talking about creating synergy. Is the effect of multiple actors and multiple effects. Working alone just doesn't cut it, especially in a haunt. To remember the idea behind escalating the tension, we want you to remember the word fear. F-E-A-R. Okay? F stands for foreshadow, escalate, and resolve. Okay? Fear. Foreshadow, escalate, and resolve. Those are the 3 steps. The and is kind of thrown in there. Foreshadow, escalate, and resolve spells fear. So we're going to talk about those 3 steps. And then we're going to move into creating synergy because those 3 steps are how you define a scaring team. A single actor is only going to be one of those steps. You may not be the one who's actually doing the scare, the startle, but you will be if you work together with your group. And in most cases, I've found that anywhere from 2 to 5 actors will generally combine into sort of a team that works on a single scare. Okay? So, foreshadowing. Somebody give me a definition of what it means to foreshadow. A glimpse of things to come. Okay? What is the idea behind that? What are you doing to the person as they're coming in and foreshadowing something? You're psyching them out. You're psyching them out. You're trying to get into their head, right?